Hey everybody. I was halfway through having a sip of tea. How are you? It's lovely to have you with me. I'm Libby. I'm calling in from New Zealand down here at the bottom of the world. I'm a knitwear designer and I design patterns. Truly Myrtle is my design name. So Truly Myrtle. And I also run the online school Wardrobe Toolbox. I always seem to butcher the beginning of these things. It's because I'm waiting for everyone to jump on. Although there you are. I can see you. Welcome on in. Say hi to me in the chat. This is a live video, a live podcast. It's so fun to see what you're saying and respond to your comments. So I go live into YouTube, the Truly Myrtle channel over on YouTube, and also into our Facebook group. So the Facebook group for Truly Myrtle is the Hangout, the Knit and Chat Hangout. Come and find us on Facebook and you can join in over there. It's lots of fun. There are lots of people knitting Truly Myrtle things and chatting about them and learning from each other. Hey everybody, and so come and join us over there because I go live in there every single week on Thursday, except not next Thursday. I'll tell you that now. In case I forget at the end, I'm not going to be here next Thursday. Hi everybody. So if you're calling from Facebook, then pop your name at the end of your comment if you want me to know who you are. Otherwise, you've got to click buttons and it scans your life and all of those things. But if you're calling from YouTube, I can see your name. So I can see Ruth and Katie from Scotland. Katie, Ruth's from down the road. And Lynn from over the bridge. Sabrina from down the line. Vanda from over the ocean in Sydney. Claire from down there in Kimbolton. It's hot and smoky in Sydney, says Beck. Another one from over the ocean. Hey, Trisha. I'm not quite sure where you're calling from, Trish. I am there today, Kim. Nice to see you. Let's just pull you all closer. Hi, everyone. There's Anna. Hey, Terry. It's now sunny in the south, says Terry. It's been pouring with rain here. You can probably hear drip, 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 drip. You might not be able to, but it's drip, 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 dripping outside because it's been really heavy and now something is dripping out there. Hey, Tanya. Nice to see you. And Cherry. It's a wet day in Waihi. Oh, well, Lynn, you're probably at home. You won't mind. Cherry's down there in Waihi. Hey Beck, smoke not here in the east yet. I haven't caught up with the news. Oh, it's hot and smoky in Sydney. Oh, it's smoke from the hazard reduction burn off. I see. Okay, I haven't caught up with any news today. So that's what's happening. The smoke isn't with you yet. Oh, yuck. I wonder if it will get to you as the wind blowing your way. It's a quick sneak peek from work for Barbara. Hi Barbara, nice to see you. Hi Alexa from Littleton. Fiona, nice to see you from Yorkshire. Good to catch on. Good to catch you. Come in. I don't know. Hey from there's Trisha. Oh, you're in Geelong in Victoria, Australia. Nice. So how are you all? I'll just get cracking. I'm sure more people will say hi in the chats and join us for today. I thought I would tell you a little bit about Wardrobe Toolbox today because the doors are opening on Monday, and Monday the 18th New Zealand time, so some of you will be Sunday evening. So I will send you emails. I'll send an email on Monday if you're on the Wardrobe Toolbox waiting list. If you're on my mini mag, you'll get an email. I'm actually going to next season combine those lists. I'm going to talk to you about it and you can come into the mini mag because just to streamline my email systems. So at the moment, you can be on the Wardrobe Toolbox waiting list and you'll get separate email. And then if you're also on the Minimag, you won't miss out. I'll let you know it's on. So the doors open on the 18th, Monday, and they're open for 10 days and then they close on the 28th of March. And then the new season, which is season 9, starts on the 1st of April. Which happens to be Easter Monday, apparently. So that's a nice way to start your Easter. We're going to kick off. We're sort of having an early kick-off because everybody that joins will come and join our knit night on Saturday, Easter Saturday. I'm having one in the morning, my time, about 10 o'clock my time in the morning. So like this sort of time on the Saturday before we kick off on the Monday. So everybody can come and join that. We can have a good old chat and show our projects, and it's really nice. The knit night is really nice. It usually goes on for ages, like a couple of hours it could go. You don't have to stay all that time, but we have a good long chat and everyone shows what they're, not everybody, but people that want to show what they're working on. So that's the time frame. Monday the 18th, doors for opening, doors close on the 28th. You can all come to knit night on the 30th, which is a Saturday, and then we'll officially begin on the 1st of April, which is a Monday. In the meantime, if you join on Monday, you can come over and join our lounge, and you can start chatting immediately. So you won't get access to all of the website just yet. You won't get access to the program, but you will have access to the lounge, which is where we do all our chatting. And you can talk about anything in there, related to what you're making. So we're not restricted to truly myrtle patterns or particularly yarn or anything like that. You can, if you're sewing or knitting or felting or spinning or weaving or whatever you're doing, you're welcome to talk about all of that stuff in there. And the whole thrust of it is creating clothes that you love to wear. So a lot of people, if not everybody, most people in there, if not everybody, is making things for them. So we're finding out, particularly garments. We do shawls and things as well, and hats and socks and all of that. But we're making a lot of garments, and we talk about how to make things that fit us and feel good. Vanda's got to go. St. Patrick's Day, fun golf. Have fun, Vanda. Nice to see you. So that's the thrust of it, really. What do you want to wear? What do you feel good in? What does your wardrobe need? And what shape are you? And what mods might you want to add? What do you know about yarn? How are you going to make the yarn that you've got, or find a pattern, the yarn that you might need for that pattern? What is it going to turn into? And that is broadening our knowledge of yarn so we don't get any nasty surprises. Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you. And then we work out looking at patterns and working our way through patterns and figuring out where we fit into that pattern and where we don't fit into the pattern, and how we can modify the pattern to fit us and suit us, both our style and our shape, because we don't often talk about size in Wardrobe Toolbox. We talk about shape a lot. So we talk about modifications if you have a fuller bust, for example, small shoulders and a fuller bust, but we don't really talk about size. So we're really focused on the overall silhouette of you. And I think that's a more helpful way of figuring out how to make things feel good and look good. So you look in the mirror, you think, yeah, nailed it. That's what we're after. And people say, you look like looking really good at the moment. What is it? And you say, well, might be this new sweater I've made that fits really well and makes, shows off my shape exactly how I want it to. That's what we're after. So, so that's kind of what we do over there. And you can come and join the lounge and you can get started with all of that stuff straight away. And then when the Monday rolls around that we start Wardrobe Toolbox for the new season, you'll get an email that will give you your password. You'll have a password because you'll sign up with a password, but you'll get an email and it will say, here's all the buttons, click these buttons and head over here and you'll see a new lesson and you'll get a new pattern and the new month will begin. So that's how we roll. So the way it works in Wardrobe Toolbox is we run a sort of a monthly theme. We have a 6-month season. So season 9 is 6 months long, and then season 10 will begin in October, and the doors will open again in September for October. And we have the 6-month season, and within that there are 6 months, obviously, and we run kind of a theme every month. So every month we have a new lesson. Every month we have an opportunity to sit down and ask questions. We have a couple of those opportunities, actually, at least 2, if not 3 opportunities to sit down and ask questions. So we have things like question and answer sessions based on the lesson we've just learned, which is all videos and handouts and things like that. There's just one of those every month, so it's not too overwhelming, hopefully. And then we get a chance to bring all our questions, and they don't have to relate to that lesson because we just had one this week and we talked about everything but that lesson. It was really good, actually. And people send me their questions in advance and I get a chance to really dive in and have a good look at them. And then we talk about the problem that you've got and we problem solve and we figure it out. And I try and do it in a way that broadens it out, so that everybody listening can learn something from your problem, which is why it's so good to say, I'm stuck on this, help. And then I will look into it, and then we'll talk in general terms as well. We'll try and address your problem, and then more generally we'll talk about the other things that will be useful to everybody in their knitting, and particularly it's often garment knitting that we talk about in those things. We also in the month have a fit night. So the fit night was an idea from one of our members, Barbara, and that was a really good idea. And so fit night happens every second month, and you bring your sweaters that you are stuck on, or knitting that you're stuck on, and you can also bring the things that you're really chuffed with, that have really worked, because it's nice to show everybody what actually's worked and what you've done. So people send their questions in advance, and then fit night is an opportunity to really nail down particular fit issues. Sometimes the other stuff can be about, I want to modify the neck on this, and I'm a bit stuck on how to do it. What do we have this week? We had one question about, I've just got this yarn, and this is the gauge I'm getting, but this is the gauge I need, and I'm starting to think, I'm not sure, what should I do? Because these gauges aren't matching, and I'm feeling like they're a bit far apart. And we talk about how to find another size in the pattern to knit if your gauge isn't working, but I'm not really sure what to do about that. So we talked about that issue. We also had one about the neckline. Someone was wanting to knit a top that a lot of people have knitted on Ravelry, and she'd gone through the projects, and she could see that the necklines were different sizes on different people, even where they've knitted the same size. And she was feeling a bit flummoxed about, I'm not really sure what's going on here. What size do I choose? How do I know how big the neck is going to be on me? So we talked about some of the things to think about. There's like this, it's like pulling on a detective hat and looking at the images, and I grabbed some that I could find on Ravelry that were examples of different people knitting things the same size with different necks. And then we dove into, okay, well, what's going on here? What things do we need to think about? What yarn are they using? What's happening with gauge? What's happening with cast-ons? How could we finish this thing? So it was just really interesting, looking at that in more detail. And then what was the last one? There were 3 really, really good questions that we talked about in depth. And the last one's escaped me. But those that we do a fit night once a month. And so the fit night tends to be more about, okay, like I've made a lot of things and I'm still not really getting the fit that I want around my hips. And I want to play around with, my hips are bigger than my bust, and I've got a bit of a tummy, and I'm just wanting to play around with this pattern or these patterns I've tried, and just, can you help me figure out how I'm going to get something that still looks a little like the silhouette in the pattern, but fits my shape? And so we talk more in depth about things like that. Or I have larger upper arms, and I do a lot of exercise. My upper arms are quite developed, and I'm finding that I'm having to find a size. My arms are a different size than what I want to knit for my body. And what do I do for different styles of sweater to make sure I can get the arms that fit me? So that's fit night. We really get into that. You can of course bring those questions anytime, but we do tend to have those questions in fit night. That seems to be a big fit night thing. And then alternating with fit night, we have a refresh session. And every second month we do a refresh session, and we look back at something we've covered, and we go back into the material that we already have, and we start pulling the pieces together. And we look at what are some of the things we've done where we've looked at the refresh session. Gauge, for example. We might have a little look at gauge again and say, all right, what are we talking about when we're talking about gauge? It all gets very confusing with all the numbers. What exactly are we trying to do? And we pull out different things from the material that you already have access to that you might have just missed or not really realized was there, or have watched it and thought you got it but actually missed the bit that you need now. So we do that every second month as well. That's called our refresh session. And then we have a masterclass every month. So that's usually sort of towards about the 3rd week of the month. We have a masterclass, and we have a guest that joins us, and they come and they give us a 1-hour masterclass. And those I love. I love those. They're really fun. Sometimes they are a lesson. Sometimes they have prepared us a lesson and they walk us through various things. to do with knitting, and those are really interesting, and they can show their needles and they tell us particular stitches and different ways to do things. Those can be really fun. Sometimes they're giving us a general discussion about something like the yarn industry, or different breeds of sheep, or embroidery, or some other aspect of fiber crafts. Spinning, we've had a few spinning ones, and sometimes they're a general chat with me, and so I find someone that's really interesting. Like, for example, we've had a couple of people that have made a lot of clothes for themselves. They've really taken this idea of handmade wardrobe and they've fleshed it out, and they've got this beautiful handmade wardrobe, knitted and sewn, and some of them are more knitted than sewn, but some are both. And I have a general conversation with them, and we tease out of them, how they got there, what they like to make, why, been the best things, what's the things they've learnt, and that they're really interesting too. So we have those sort of conversations. So the masterclass is once a month, and then every now and then we have a bonus session, which is just another session, which is usually a guest of some description. Sometimes it's someone that's associated with Wardrobe Toolbox. Sometimes it's someone from outside. And like, for example, we've just introduced a new component to Wardrobe Toolbox this last season. It's going to continue this season. And it's a sewing component. And it's just extra. It's additional. Because there's a lot of people in Wardrobe Toolbox that do sew or want to have a go at sewing. And so we've introduced this extra so that you can really think about your whole outfits, and sewing might be part of that. And so our bonus sessions, we've had a couple of those recently, which have been about getting started with sewing, and some of the things to think about when you want to sit down in front of a sewing machine and have a go. And they're really good. That's nice. And nothing is compulsory, so you don't have to be involved in all of these things. But that's generally the way our month works. There's always something on every week. Sometimes there's 2 things on in a week. We also have a knit night every month. That's always at the end of the month. And it's the only thing I don't record out of all of the material, because it's long and people jump on the screen. And so people that are feeling brave enough hop on the screen, just like I am now with you, and they talk to all of us, and they show us what they're working on, or their new yarn they bought, or something they tried, or I ask lots of questions, and they're really fun. So they're really quite inspiring, and by the end of that, you're coming away thinking, oh my goodness, I can't wait to make this, or I can't wait to, there's not enough hours in the day, there's not enough years of my life. That's how you come away, because it's so inspiring having the knit night as well. So, oh yes, someone's reminding me that the bra fitting. Yeah, we had a bra fitting session. That was really fun, wasn't it, last season? It was invaluable. I'm not sure who this person is. They said several younger relatives have learned a lot from watching it, as well as us older ones. Yes. So the bra fitting session was really good. We've had a couple of things about bras, making your own bras, as well as what is a good fit for a bra and how do I get that. And that's really helpful, because the bra obviously goes under the clothes, and then that helps us when we're choosing a size, and that helps everything hang well and all of those sorts of things. So that's sort of how it rolls. Every month we have a pattern that we go through. It's nice and rhythmic. It becomes very familiar. You get to know what to expect. You know what you want to dip into, what you can watch later. I try and vary the times of our live videos so that I can catch people at different parts of the world. But to be honest, this time, 11 o'clock in the morning, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning is actually really good for a lot of people around the world. So, and it's obviously my work day. So there are quite a few things that happen in my work day, although sometimes I do evening things as well. And like our upcoming knit night, I will sometimes do things on a Saturday morning as well. Or even a Sunday night. We had one on a Sunday night the other day, because we were speaking to someone in Sweden, and that time worked well for her. So that's how it rolls. Every month something comes. I tell you all about this by email. So you'll get an email every week. It'll say, this is what's on this week. And it'll give you links to join. And then you'll get reminders to join. So you don't have a chance. You don't miss out. You won't be sitting there wondering what's going on. You stay subscribed to the emails, and you just don't have to wonder. It will just arrive to you. I've been a part of quite a few memberships, and it's always you can feel a bit lost when you know it's all out there, but you just don't quite know where to start. And so I try and help you with that by just being in touch a lot. So every beginning of every week, we'll say, this is what's on this week. This is what's happening. This is the videos that are on. This is the lesson that's here. Here's your new pattern. You get a new pattern every second month. So you get 3 patterns in a season. And we'll say, this is what's been happening in our lounge. And our lounge currently is on Facebook. We're looking at different things to do with that right now. So that we might start something new with that as well. We'll just see how that goes. But our lounge is on Facebook, and some people just join Facebook just to join the lounge. So we'll say, this is what's been happening. And, you know, Sarah knit this beautiful shawl, and Rachel finished a new dress, and Jackie's knit this gorgeous jersey, or, you know, Stella is stuck on these particular, you know, trying to find a size for this. What would you do? Or things like that. So I give you a little update for that. So it's quite a newsy little email that you get every week, and you can feel like you're in touch with everything that's happening. So that's how it rolls, and every month goes on like that. For people that are already in Wardrobe Toolbox, I must say this again now. If you're already in Wardrobe Toolbox and you are intending to stay for season 9, do nothing. You do nothing. You will roll over automatically. And so your subscription will renew like usual. If you're on a whole season subscription, that will renew at the end of this month for the next season. And if you're on a month-by-month subscription, that will just come out as normal, and then you will roll straight over to season 9. So that reminds me about the subscription. It is a subscription model. I get this question a lot, and I try and be clear about it, but it just gets missed. Wardrobe Toolbox is a little bit like Netflix. So when you're in, you're in, and when you're out, you're out. So it's not like a course that you buy that you can keep later. I would love to create some of those. I just haven't got the time right now, but it is something I would like to do. And this is a subscription. So every month, when you pay your subscription, or if you've paid for the whole season, you have access to everything in there as long as you're a member. And then when you're not a member, then you don't have access anymore. It's like Netflix. You know, you can go into Netflix and you can scroll through all of the movies and all of the TV shows and all of that stuff. But if you're not a member, you don't get to see it. So you can download stuff though. So there is a lot of stuff you can actually keep. As it comes, you might go through and do a big search and grab all the things you want to keep. You might do that anyway, just so you have access to it. You might want to download all the patterns and that you want to keep. So you can do that. You can't download any of the videos, but you can download. I have a PDF with every lesson, pretty much every lesson. And I have tools that you can use, you know, project planners, and how to make your gauge work for your pattern, and how to create different shaping for a sleeve. There's lots of different tools in there. So you can download all of those as PDFs and store them somewhere, or print them and make them into a folder. I've got mine all in big folders now. There's a lot of material. It's actually like 3 books. You could actually make a book out of this. I should make a book out of this, but I haven't. And the other thing you can download is the patterns. So as you get them, download them, print them out, put them in your own little file somewhere, save them in Dropbox, save them on a hard drive, whatever you do with your digital patterns, do that. I don't put them into Ravelry. That's just a nightmare I cannot even begin to contend with, trying to do that. So they are in Wardrobe Toolbox. If you're a new member and you haven't been in Wardrobe Toolbox before, you will be able to see all of the old patterns, but you won't be able to get them unless you buy them. So there's a lot of patterns in there. There's, what are we, we've had season 8, so there's 3 seasons, there are 24 patterns in Wardrobe Toolbox at the moment. So you can get in there, you can look through them all, and you can buy them, and they're permanently on discount. And so that will be the best discount you'll be able to get for them in Wardrobe Toolbox. So if you want to go back and grab some, you can. And the bonus about it is that you can get some before they're available to the public. So I'm going to show you 3 that we had for the last season. These will not be available until the end of this year and early next year. I'm just about to release the pattern that came out this time last year, but usually, typically, the patterns are exclusive to Wardrobe Toolbox for about a year, if not longer. So that is, you have it for yourself for that long. So if you want to get those ones that you can't get anywhere else, this is a great opportunity to do that. So I'll show you what we had last season. Season 8. We started with this one, which, flip. And I've totally forgotten the name because my brain has just got so many things going around in it right now. And, but Kuri. It's called Kuri. It means cuddle or hug in Scottish. Kuri. So this was a lovely big DK shawl. Sometimes I do a DK shawl, sometimes I do a fingering shawl. We usually start the season with a shawl. So Maeve is over there. Maeve is on my do I go this way? There we go. Maeve's on my thing now. I put her on my thing. I've just been released, but she was released this time last year. We started season 8 with Kuri, and she's a big shawl that you wrap around your neck. She's really cozy. I haven't had a chance to wear her in the winter yet, and she's one of these ones that I love wearing because you can button her up, and she has that lovely I-cord buttonhole on the edge, and you button her up, and so she stays put, and you can put her on a bit like a poncho and wear her like that. So she's a great, anyway, she's going to be great this winter. I'm really looking forward to her. She's quite fun to knit. You knit her side to side, and you knit her with your horizontal stripes. You knit them in, but then you come back later. See, she's got quite a bit of texture, but you come back later and you put in these vertical stripes down here. So you can create a tartan that you like, with your colors. You can be quite adventurous with your tartan. I used this used Truly Myrtle Bliss DK, and I used the Southlander Oatmeal. You know these are on sale at the moment over at Skeins. And I also used a, what's it called? The yarn that changes color all the time? Spin Cycle. I used a Spin Cycle in here as well. So that teal and that copper are actually from the same skein. So it's a nice way of creating lots of different colors through it. You can see that end is quite different from that end with the copper, with just using a few balls. So that was how we started the season. You don't have to put the buttons on. You could just wear it as a shawl with that lovely border, that I-cord border. But I do like the buttons to secure her. So Kuri was how we started. So she won't be out until probably October this year. September, October this year she'll come out. So at the moment she's only available over in there. Then in December, I nearly wore this today, but it was a bit cold because it suddenly got chilly here. This little one, Pickle. Pickle was a little top we did in which we got in December. Now Pickle is seamed. So we learnt about seaming. It only has 4 seams. It's got 2 at the shoulders and 2 down the sides, and it's got that cute little all over stitch pattern. Some people have made her as a summer top. Some people have made her as a little winter vest, and she can work both ways. She'll look really good with something over the top underneath when the weather cools off. I did her in a cotton possum woolly blend from Zilana, but you could do her in a pure wool. She'd be absolutely gorgeous in a pure wool. That texture just lovely on her. So that was Pickle, and she was the second one that came out. So she'll be available at the end of this year, I think. Pickle's going to be my 3 seasons layering piece, says Maeve. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, she's a really cute little one, and she's fun to knit. And you knit the 2 pieces and then you stitch them together. So if you have been a convert to top down, all-in-one knitting, like I have been, then you might enjoy a bit of a change with Pickle. She has lovely little details with her seaming up the side, and so it's fun. She's really fun, that one. So that was the second one that came out, and then the third one I think I've already showed some of you anyway, is Alex. Now you're going to see me at this jersey a lot this winter. So Alex is a sport weight jumper. She uses this new to me construction at the shoulders, where I've sort of morphed together a couple of different ideas from people to create her shaping. She's got a set-in sleeve, but this is different for me. And so I combine a top-down short row set-in sleeve with this interesting shoulder shaping at the back. And so, that was fun. She's a really fun one to make with this little V that meets down here at your bust, so it gives you that nice illusion of a V at the front. And then she also has at the side the V at the side. When I'm doing these, there we go, at the side. When I'm designing the sweaters for Wardrobe Toolbox, I'm often thinking about how you can modify it, and I don't want to make it too onerous for you. I want you to start learning the skills that you're using, the skills that you're learning in Wardrobe Toolbox. So I am thinking about that often when I'm designing the sweaters, and often the shawls will include a new technique that I'll teach you as well. Someone's having trouble getting gauge. Going to try 3mm needles when you're over COVID. Oh yeah, it's no point trying when you're feeling yucky. Try when you're feeling better, and you might find your gauge will settle down, and you'll just see what happens. And don't forget, try different needle tips. If you're using wood, try metal. If you're using metal, try wood. You might find that your gauge changes a little bit. But the aim of the game, which is what I tell everyone in Wardrobe Toolbox as well, is to find a fabric that you like. Don't try and push your yarn to be something it doesn't want to be. Try and find a fabric you really like with that yarn, so the yarn just breathes, takes a nice deep breath and says, yes, this is what I want to be, and it sings. That's the aim of the game. And then once we've got that, then we figure out how we're going to make it work for the pattern we've got, or if it actually does work for the pattern we've got, whether or not we really should be thinking of something else. It has a nice little detail on the back too. So that was Alex. I don't know if I said Alex. So that was Alex, and that is she is going to be available. She has these nice little full sleeves as well with an I cord at the bottom. She's in there in Wardrobe Toolbox, and she will be out for everybody in I'd say this time next year. She'll come out ready for our Antipodean winter next year. Just as a note, Wardrobe Toolbox members have got a discount on the yarn I used for Alex for a long time. You've got a long time to use that discount. It's from Skeins. I noticed it's not on sale in their current epic sale, but you can get it at a good discount. So all the details about that are actually inside Wardrobe Toolbox. So you can grab some for yourself, for your Alex sweaters. So yeah, so what have I told you? I've told you when the doors open on the 18th and they close on the 28th. That's it. They won't be open again until October. So if you want in, get in now. You can sign up for a whole season, and that is a bit cheaper than signing up month to month. But then you're in for the season. So you can do that, and when the doors open, you'll get a choice. You'll toggle between two buttons, and you can go for the season one, or you can go for the monthly one. You can leave at any time. If you join up for the whole season, you can leave at the end of the season. But if you join up monthly, you can just bail. If it's not working for you, you can just go. It's fine. You just let us know and we'll sort that out for you. And you won't, you'll just have stayed. You've paid for the month you're in, and you can see everything there, and you've had a good look around, and you think, oh, yeah, I do, or I don't want to stay. So you can do it just if you want to see what it's like inside. The price is going to stay the same for this season. I'm not sure what will happen next season, but for now it's staying the same. I think it's about $38.50 a month, which is actually a really good price for everything you get. It's a really comprehensive membership. There's heaps going on, and you get, I think you get really good patterns in there. There's lots to choose from. We've covered so much material. There's always new stuff coming. There's lots and lots of opportunities for you to ask me your particular question. There's lots of opportunities for that. So it's a good chance for you to really get some one-on-one help. And the people are lovely. The people are absolutely lovely in Wardrobe Toolbox. There's hundreds of them, and they're a really good, supportive crowd. They all love what you love. They love knitting, and they love, I'd say everybody's there for the garments. Pretty much. There's some people that are still like, oh, I'm just not, I'm not really sure. But I am there to inspire confidence in you and to give you tools so you really do feel confident. Oh, that's right. I wanted to read you a couple of things that people have said about it from some of our members, because it's always lovely to see what they say. And I usually do a survey at the end of the season, and you get a free pattern and everything. There's lots of patterns. But I do a survey, and I ask, so I can think about what direction we want to take this in. So I'll read you some of the things that people said. They said I asked them if they'd mind if I share their things. Barbara's saying she made some lovely friends joining Wardrobe Toolbox. Yeah, that is really happening. And some of the Wardrobe Toolbox members meet up in their cities and their towns. And so they actually form little knitting groups together. And there are people that have made friends across the oceans, and that is lovely to see. So, someone I know, I'm thinking immediately of someone in New Zealand and someone in America who have made really good friends. They were yarn swap buddies, because every now and then we do a yarn swap. We might do one. I'll just talk to my people and see. It can be a little bit of a challenge with the postage, but yeah, so we sometimes do those sorts of things too. Looking forward to getting my Truly Myrtle yarns from Skeins. Yay, it's coming in the post. Excellent, Tanya. That's really good. Yeah, make the most of that sale. The Truly Myrtle yarn is for sale at Skeins. They have got it on an excellent price, so you might want to grab some. Hi, Christine. Nice to see you all the way over there from the UK. Okay, so this is what Dot said. Dot said, I can now do a swatch, work out adjustments if I need to make the fabric I like suit the pattern. I can modify the pattern if needed, and all the tutorials are just a couple of clicks away to refresh the brain. So I like that one. That was nice from Dot. Diane said, this is what she's learned, how to adjust pattern to fit, using gauge swatch to choose size to fit and suitable yarn to use, how to read charts, how to measure yourself, and where to measure. That was Diane. Janice said, I've got a better understanding of modifications relating to gauge. I'd previously never blocked swatches or garments, and I'd never done circular or top down. So that was Janice, and now she has a better understanding of modifications relating to gauge as well. So I think, the thing I hear most from the Wardrobe Toolbox members is, I tried it and it worked. I tried it. I never thought I could do it. I didn't know how to do it. I've tried it and now I can do it. I didn't like the way that thing fitted me, so I ripped it out and made it again, and now it fits, and I love it, and I can't stop wearing it. That's the kind of thing we hear over and over and over again, which blows my mind, actually. Alison said, I'm more confident to try different patterns, choose the right size, resulting in actually wearing what I make. Now, that is something else, because I think too many of us make garments and we don't wear them. And we don't wear them for a number of reasons. One, we don't wear them because we actually don't like it. We've chosen something that actually, what was I even thinking? Like, I never have an opportunity to wear that. It's not really my style. What is my style anyway? And I never wear it. And so we all have done that. Too many people do that. Or we make it and it just doesn't look right. It doesn't fit right in the right places. It's too tight here and it's too loose there, or it's too long and it just doesn't work, or the neck is wrong, or things like that. And there's too many garments, too much time spent making garments like that. So we are going to eliminate that. That's what we do in Wardrobe Toolbox. Oh, here's someone saying, I agree. Even though I've knitted for 55 plus years prior to joining Wardrobe Toolbox, I have learnt so much that I didn't know that I needed to know. It's well worth it. Oh, that's really nice. And Beck says, I've never had so many beautiful garments that fit since Wardrobe Toolbox. And I always think about you, Beck, with your floozy, because you ripped out that floozy, you made a floozy, and you ripped it out and you made it again. And whoa, that new floozy you made with all of the bits and pieces you'd learned looks amazing. So Beck makes beautiful garments. Okay. Here's Anne. She says, I've learnt the importance of swatching. Now, I try not to go on about swatching, but we do talk about swatching because it's the beginning of everything. She said, I've learnt how best to knit and calculate knitting for me. Thank you. So that's it. That's the kind of thing. They're learning how to knit things. People are learning how to knit things for them. Carolyn said, I've learnt that gauge is critical for fit and to check measurements too on the way through the project, and also not to lose heart part way. It happens to everyone. Yeah, Carolyn's learnt that we often will look at our knitting when we're part the way through and think, oh my God, what have I done? I'm not sure do I even like it? I think I hate it. Oh, my flip, I don't know if I'll even wear it. Oh no, what have I done? And she's learnt that there are several places through the garment which we're going to feel like that. And if we go back and we think, no, I've got the yarn and I've got the pattern and I've thought about it all and I made some changes and no, this is going to be good. And she plows on and she gets to the end and then she thinks, phew, that was amazing. So those are the sorts of things that the members are telling us at Wardrobe Toolbox, and it's really nice to hear. Now let me think, is there anything I've forgotten to tell you? You need to be signed up to either my mini mag, which you can be signed up at trulymyrtle.com/mini mag. Sign up there, I'll tell you about when the doors open and give you all the links you need. Or you can sign up to the Wardrobe Toolbox waiting list, which is over at wardrobetoolbox.com. But I think I'll do something with those emails in the next 6 months and try and sort of combine those together. Or you could put an alarm on your phone and you could go over to Wardrobe Toolbox next week and it will all be ready for you to sign up. You just put in your details, you go over to the checkout page and you click annual or monthly and you can sign up and you'll get emails and I try not to leave you in the lurch. So I'll send you emails and I'll say, yeah, you're in and this is what happens next and etc., etc. And you will be invited to that very first knit night before the season begins. And what's the other thing I needed to tell you? Something just crossed my mind then and it's escaped me again. Oh, I'm not going to be here next Thursday. So I do have to shoot off. One of my kids is having surgery, so I need to go and be there. It's a little nerve-wracking, but hopefully it'll all be okay. And so I won't be here next Thursday. I will be absent. But with a bit of luck, if all goes well, I will be back the following week. So I can't come and tell you to remind you. I can't remind you that Wardrobe Toolbox is going to be open on the podcast. So you'll have to keep an eye on your emails and on my Facebook page because I'm going to post you on Facebook page. I'll tell you it's open there too so that you can come and join us. Alrighty. Well, I think that's everything. That's kind of a comprehensive look and feel of it. If you feel like making garments that you actually end up wearing, that you love, that you're proud of, that you feel really satisfied when you finish them, that you enjoy knitting, that fit your wardrobe, that suit you, that people make comments about, then come and join us because that is where it happens. And of course you can knit anything you like. You don't have to just knit Wardrobe Toolbox patterns. You don't just have to knit Truly Myrtle patterns. We talk about them all. So it's really helpful if you just for your general knitting life and your general knitting knowledge. It's really, really helpful. Okay, everybody, have a lovely, lovely week. Couple of weeks. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And take care. Do heaps of knitting. Hopefully I'll see you in Wardrobe Toolbox. Hopefully I'll see you at that first knit night. Is it next Saturday? Saturday after. Be the Saturday after, I think. And I'll catch you later. So happy knitting, everybody. Take care. See you later.